Okay, can everybody hear me fine?
Yes.
Yes, cool. All right, well, welcome everybody to the all-staff or all-hands, all-staff call for UNAVSA, especially for the upcoming conference, UNAVSA-10 in Anaheim, California. This call is basically to serve as a refresher of what's going on right now. And, we're going over all the updates pertaining to the as well as whatever is going on with the organization in general. So I just want to go over a quick guide on any meeting. This is what we're using for this call. And I just want to go over the features that we will be using today, starting with, let's see. Actually, we're just going over the My Mood. So if you guys will hover over My Mood at the top, you guys will see 4 icons. One that says, I'm fine, raise hand, yes, and no. So the thing we're going to be worried mainly about is raise hand. If you have any questions throughout the tonight's call, we'll be taking questions in the middle of the presentation and at the end. And then Tia will be in charge of moderating all the questions. And when the time comes for question and answering, she'll unmute you, and then you'll be able to ask your question, whether through text or through your mic. Anything else? See, you guys can mess with a thumbs up, a thumbs down. I'm not really worried about that. And then, so tonight's call, we'll start off with Ani, our president, and she's just going to go over a little brief history of UNAVSA and a little UNAVSA 101. So, Ani?
Hello, everyone. So I'm here to feedback. Give me one second. Sorry. For some reason, my computer turned off my telephone use. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our all-hands staff call. We are literally just 17 days and just short of 17 hours from the official start of conference. So, woo! Thank you to all of you for making it on this all-hands staff call. Our intention today is to give you a clear picture of UNAVSA as an organization, to summarize how conference should look for all of us as we head into one of our largest conferences of our organization's history. I would like to start by introducing UNAVSA. UNAVSA officially formed in 2004. Leaders from Southern California and all the way to the East Coast and New England recognized that our Vietnamese community needed a development of the next generation of leaders. And so through this collaboration, UNAVSA was formed and was held in Boston, Massachusetts, where over 200 young activists from the country came together. So our mission is to empower the next generation of Vietnamese leaders with a passion for service, propensity for leadership, and self-awareness, with the intent of advocating for progress in the North American Vietnamese community. I know that you guys have probably seen this mission over and over again, probably heard it once in a while. Hopefully it's become familiar to you. Today our intention is we want to also introduce a vision that our executive board has been working on so that you have a clearer picture of UNAVSA as an organization. And then further on we will talk about conference so that we could have a clearer picture of what to look for during our biggest event of the year. But our vision, this is, as a board, we identified that apart from the mission that we've always seen and heard of, we were missing an overall vision that each board, every term and every year could follow. And we decided to share this organizational vision with you all today because we felt like this was the best opportunity for the most people involved in our organization would be able to hear this. And so UNAVSA's vision that is pending approval through our board of directors, our vision is to be an organization that develops proud, connected and self-aware leaders to create a united and thriving Vietnamese community. Our hope that this vision can kind of help you all visualize all the work, all the hard work that you do day in and day out, of what we're working towards and what we would like our community to become and to be, and we really do appreciate everything that you all have done, because this is what we're working towards: a thriving Vietnamese community, a united and thriving Vietnamese community. So I hope that whatever you all are doing, or whatever part you play in this overall organization, you can feel that you contribute to that work. So we really appreciate it. I would like to now pass it over to my, I would like to now introduce our wonderful executive board. I've had the pleasure of working with these people for the past almost year. Can't believe it, but it's been almost a year since we've done this together. And my name is Lang Anh Nguyen, so UNAVSA's president for this year, and then one more year after this conference is. Nia Lê is also on call, and will be presenting next. Our wonderful internal vice president, Dat Nguyen, our external vice president. Thuy Lang Duan, our treasurer, and then Vu Tai, secretary. So we're all on call today, and we will all be speaking to you at one point or another. So really appreciate it. Now I'm going to pass it on to our IVP, Nia, to talk about CORE and what's going on with CPP. Nia, check to see if you're muted.
Sorry about that. I think I forgot to mute. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Cool. So first thing is, part of UNAVSA, we have something called the Council of Regional Representatives, which we also call CORE, C-O-R-R. CORE is made up of members from all of our partnering regions. They are voted in or part of their e-board. It all depends on which region they are a part of. And one of the biggest projects that CORE works on is the Continental Agenda. Each year at conference, the regions gathered. For the past 2 years, the regions gathered at the Continental Agenda to decide what they want. They felt that what the regions decided on 4 initiatives that they wanted UNAVSA to work on. This past year, it was 4 items that were voted on were current events, cultural resources, leadership development, and health disparities. These four items have been in the works on our CORE for the past year. We will be presenting these items at the sorry, I'm a little flustered right now. Sorry, these 4 items will be presented at the conference this year. As a CORE this year, we actually decided that we want to continue to work on these 4 different initiatives for the following year as well. And we want to move forward by keeping these Continental Agenda items on for 2 years, so they would coincide with the e-board terms so that we can really use them to the most advantage. I'll go through them real quickly on kind of things we've been doing for each initiative. For the Health Disparities Committee, we have release informational videos as well as fact sheets on different information for health issues that are affecting our community. For the cultural resources, we've created a cultural database, and so that allows VSAs to share their resources with everyone across the country. The Current Events Committee has been working on the UNAVSA iPhone and Android app, as well as creating a blog that they've been adding content to. And then the Leadership Development has been really working on improving our VSA Academy, which will house a lot of our Continental Agenda items for everyone to to access all the resources that we're creating with the core. The other project that we as UNAVSA work on is the Collective Philanthropy Project, which is also known as the CPP. The Collective Philanthropy Project was created in 2005 during the second annual conference to form an initiative for students and community organizations to collaborate on working towards a charitable cause. CPP is broken into 3 different committees. This year's Collective Philanthropy Project, as you all know, is MEMO, the Medical Educational Missions and Outreach. Timmy Vo is our campaign director this year. He's been doing a wonderful job. I believe that we've hit our fundraising goal. There will be more information on that later. But some of the exciting things that have been done is the Memo Bear campaign. Have you gotten the memo? Sorry, I was reading the chat box while I was speaking. And then also their Dare and demo, and then also the Google Hangout they did this year. Now the other committees that are involved with CPP is the Audit Committee. This year the Audit Committee is currently auditing children of Vietnam, which was last year's beneficiary. They do post audit reports, and that is released in a newsletter that contains all the information about CPP. That is also available on the website. So if you ever are interested in seeing what our organization, what the beneficiaries are using our money, the money that we fundraise for, that it's also available on the CPP website. An additional thing that Gwen An, who is from the Upper Northeast region, she is the director of the audit committee. She has also gone back and started interviewing past beneficiaries back to, I think, so some of the ones that she already has interviewed is Catalyst Foundation and Viet Hope, and she was able to find out more information about what they've still been doing. So it's been a great way for them to keep up with UNAVSA and for us to really show what kind of impact we have been able to make with our fundraising for 1 year. And last but not least is the CPP Selection Committee. This is the CPP campaign. This is the CPP committee that you'll see most at conference. They are in charge of the selection process for next year's CPP beneficiary. The finalists that are the top 3 finalists for this year is One Body Village. Their mission is to combat child sex trafficking and to improve the lives of children affected by sex. Kids Without Borders, their mission is to inspire and involve youth in service worldwide. And the Vietnam Medical Assistance Program, and their mission is to provide medical assistance and medical education to the Vietnamese community and its participants. Something I really want to emphasize is that with both of these sessions, since they are a huge part of our projects outside of conference, it's really important to try to really push attendance for both CPP Selection and for our confidential agenda presentation, because it will really share with what UNAVSA does outside of conference, which is I think is sometimes lost. And we, especially with the confidential agenda presentation, our core is creating a lot of different resources for our VSA members, and we want to make sure that they know that it is available. Yeah, I think that wraps it up for the continental agenda and the CPP selection.
Awesome. Thank you, Nia. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and if you have any questions, please save them. We're going to have a question and answer and Q&A session at the end of the presentation about conference and then at the end of the entire call. So we're going to try to keep everything within an hour. So stay put, and we'll move along. Next up, we would like to invite our Executive Director for conference to speak. Nick?
Hi, everybody. My name is Nick again, and I am the Executive Director for the 10th Annual UNAVSA Conference. And I know Ani earlier mentioned a little bit about UNAVSA's history. I just wanted to reiterate a little bit, which is primarily is that UNAVSA as an organization was kind of built around the idea that there's other continents out there that have these organizations, these VSAs that work collectively together. So our alumni back in 2004 asked that question, or actually in 2003, they asked the question, so why can't we do something like that? They challenged themselves and they pushed themselves to really connect with all these different VSA leaders out there. And so that was kind of the foundation for the first conference in Boston. And then since then, we've made a tremendous amount of progress. And so there will be a lot of our alumni from those, even from the first conference, coming back this year and joining hands and working and building UNAVSA as an organization together. So just really quick, for those of you who have never been to a conference, because I know we have some staff that have never been to a conference, it will be attendance of approximately 500 other Vietnamese American and Vietnamese Canadian student leaders, young professionals from across North America, and then also, of course, many of our alumni from the past. And it, of course, is the 10th year, so this is our 10th anniversary, and the theme this year is Nơi Nương Tựa, and I'll talk briefly about that later. And it'll be, of course, August 1st through 4th, 2013 at the Crown Plaza Anaheim Resort, close to Disneyland. So just really quickly, I just also wanted to introduce a little bit about my team and also all the different committees that we have as components of conference. So first off, there's myself on the Executive Planning Committee, along with Duan from Northern California, Nick No from Northwest, Victor Nguyen Liu from SoCal, and Elizabeth Nguyen from South Region. And of course, we also have our intern, Warren, from the Northwest. And as far as our directors on the team, we have Eric from the Midwest. He's the Activities Director. Mi Fung, who's the Entertainment Director, also from the Midwest. Tham, Hospitality Director from the NorCal, Northern California. Hop is our IT and Sponsorship Director from NorCal. Ken Lei, who is our Logistics Director from SoCal. T. Bui, I apparently misspelled T's name on the presentation. I apologize. So T is our Marketing Director from Texas, South Region. We have Nam Leung, who's our Media Technologies Director from Southern California. Stacy Nguyen, our Programming Director from Southern California. And Vanya, our Registration Director from the Northwest region. So just a general outline of what happens at conference. Well, at conference, we do a lot of different things, including workshops that cover different topics such as VSA development, culture and identity, civic engagement, and social political issues, and also career development. We do a lot of activities, and this year in particular, under the leadership of our Activities Committee and Eric, we're featuring the first ever UNAVSA Friendship Games to really promote what makes UNAVSA kind of really unique in the sense of our regions, right? We have regions. Let's showcase our regional spirit, our regional pride, and really channel all of that energy into friendship for each other, support for each other, and unity. Next up, of course, is we always have our culture show or variety show. And this year in particular is unique in the sense that we really wanted to showcase what really makes UNAVSA as an organization different from any other API organization. And that really boils down to our culture, our heritage, and our history. And so in order to display that and show how much we understand that is what we're doing an actual culture show with an actual original script, actors, dancers, singers, performers from all across North America in order for us to kind of do more than what we've done in the past, which is just have performances, but to actually tell a story. Tell a story that resonates with our theme and resonates with our mission. And of course, our ever-popular gala, or gala if you want, which of course brings together our entire UNAVSA family, this year in particular, all the way from 2004 until today, so that we can kind of recognize UNAVSA's history, recognize all of our student scholars and young professional scholars, and as well as recognize all the VSAs that have contributed and been nominated for the VSA Awards and who have demonstrated leadership, growth, and commitment to their communities. I also wanted to highlight our keynote speakers this year because just like any other event, the keynotes are really the inspiration, the luminaries that share their powerful stories, their life lessons with us, and really tie together what UNAVSA is about, their story, as well as our conference theme. And so just really quick, our first keynote on opening ceremonies, his name is Sebastian Huynh. He is the CEO and an identity evangelist for a leadership company called -0. Our second keynote on Friday morning is Nancy Letary. She is, of course, the executive director for our past CPP organization, Children of Vietnam. We have the chief diversity officer from the Human Rights Campaign. Her name is Gok Ro. And lastly, we have on Sunday for closing, we have Kenny Nguyen. He's the CEO and founder of Big Fish Presentations. So I've been mentioning a lot about the conference theme. So the conference theme this year is Nơi Nương Tựa, which translates to safe haven or someone/something to lean on. So it can be an object, it can be a place, it can be a person, it can be something tangible or intangible. And our hope is that at conference we can share stories of the challenges that we face as Vietnamese Americans and Vietnamese Canadians, and really defining these safe spaces in the context of ourselves as our identity, our organizations, and also our community. So the question that we'll be asking often at conference is, what does Nơi Nương Tựa mean to you? So just to give everyone an idea of how many people are actually attending conference so far, right now we have 467 registered attendees. Of those, over 400 are paid. So we're looking, if we factor in like alumni and such, we're looking to have a pretty solid 500 at conference. And just to give you an idea also of which regions are representing at conference, Southern California, this includes staff and attendees. Southern California right now is sitting at 100, Northern California 50, Southwest, Mid-Atlantic, Southeast are all sitting at about 40, Midwest and Gulf Coast are about 30, South and Northwest are a little over 20, and then we have Northeast at 11, Canada, we have Alaska, and we also have a Central region between 1 and 5 attendees. So in total, that will hit about 400 right there. So definitely really proud of the numbers that we have right now, especially with the distribution of region, like attendees that we have from different regions, because I think it really showcases the marketing that we've been able to produce, as well as the hype and the value that these individuals, especially from far away, see in UNAVSA and its conference, and and so they want to attend. So this is for all of staff. We have to kind of review the general logistics for conference. So for everybody that will be attending conference in particular, we do need your flight itineraries so that we know, the logistics team will know when it is that you will need to be picked up. And so even if you don't need a ride, or even if you aren't flying and you're just driving in, please still complete the UNAVSA-10 staff speaker and VIP flight itineraries form. I believe it was emailed out to all of staff, but if you have not received it, we will be emailing it to all UNAVSA staff again. And for those of our staff that will be driving to conference, you can park for free at the hotel parking lot or in the surrounding neighborhood, so you don't have to pay for parking. So definitely props for that. Additionally, once we get a little bit closer to conference, we will have a playbook available for everyone on staff. Playbook is something that we've been using each year since the 5th conference as a, think of it like a sports playbook where it has all the different schedules, all the different quote-unquote plays that we have for the event. So what this means is that we have minute-by-minute operations timeline of the entire conference. We also have all the relevant hotel maps and inventory that we need for each session in the hotel, inventory policies, emergency protocol, and also, of course, a directory of all the flight itineraries and contact information for our staff, guests, and VIPs. So look forward to that soon. As for the actual schedule itself, we'll be running through the schedule not in great detail, but just in brief, just so that everybody knows what is going on at any particular time at conference. So on Thursday, the first day, and actually, let's start before that. If you come in early, you'll know because you sent us your itinerary. And so we'll have different staff activities before conference so that we can all bond and relax before conference. And of course, also work as well. And then starting on Thursday morning, we'll have some pre-conference things pending the hospitality team. So that can potentially be local tours that attendees can do if they come in early. But for staff, we'll be focusing on check-in at 2:30. We have opening ceremonies at 7 that night on Thursday. And then afterwards, we have activities for all of our attendees leading into the late night. On Friday, which is August 2nd, we open up with breakfast in the morning, followed by CPP audit selection and also our keynote at 8:45. We have lunch on our own at noon, followed by our workshop session between 1 and 4 p.m. Afterwards, we have our resource and career fair, and at 4:30 p.m. we have a team building session, which is for all of our attendees and of course all staff that are available as well. We have dinner on your own at 5:30 p.m. that Friday, followed by our, of course, grand culture show starting at 7 p.m. And after culture show, we'll have some late night activities as well. Starting on Saturday, we have again breakfast, followed by, Saturday is a very different day than what we've had at conference in the past, and such that half of conference on Saturday will actually be taking place at a park. It'll be West Haven Park, which is about a 10-minute walk from the hotel. It's right behind the parking lot, and it's a huge park with a huge open field. So this is kind of our way of being able to serve food, whatever food that we want. And in our case, it could be Vietnamese food, etc. So we'll be serving breakfast there. Followed by breakfast will be our big UNAVSA friendship games, and we'll also be serving lunch at the park. So this will all run until approximately 3 p.m., from which all of our attendees and staff will return to the hotel, shower, get ready for gala, etc. And then also at 4, we have a alumni mixer, which will be by the pool. And the alumni mixer is for all of our attendees, staff, and our alumni to really mix, engage, and network professionally as well as personally. And then we also have some walk-in workshops at 5 p.m. These are, of course, alumni-driven. So they are hosted by alumni for attendees, and they typically are focused around career development. And then, of course, at 6 is our gala and awards ceremony and dinner. Following gala will be the after set in the hotel. On Sunday morning, we have breakfast. And, of course, I just wanted to clarify, the breakfast on Friday and Sunday is on your own. The hotel will have breakfast options for $10. And then on Saturday, the breakfast option we will provide. And then after breakfast on Sunday, we have the regional caucus. Following that is closing ceremony. And then afterwards, we'll have after conference fun, which is where anybody that's still around after conference, we'll take them around town and we'll have a great time. And then something that hospitality is working on especially is a Disneyland Day, which is the Monday after conference, where it'll be a whole day at Disneyland and California Adventure, because we definitely want to be able to offer that to our attendees, a group tour, if you want, of Disneyland, because it's kind of like one of the highlights of Southern California. Okay, so just to kind of wrap up some of the conference-related things is how can you contribute? Because for those of us who are on our committees, or if we're not on a committee, on a conference committee, and we still want to help out, there's certain ways that we can present ourselves at conference, either before, or during, or after. that really impact the experience that we have and our attendees have. So first off is the dress code. So in general, conference staff are expected to be in business professional while in the hotel. So what that means is that if we're in the hotel and it's a professional setting, then conference staff are expected to be. Okay.
If you guys are not speaking, please mute your phone. Thank you.
Okay. So again, business professional while you're in the hotel. Naturally, of course, when we're outside for friendship games, then the dress code changes. All of that will be communicated separately. And then we'll also be having a volunteer recruitment form to be mailed to all of, it says here, all committees, but it'll be actually be to all of staff because different committees have been requesting support and help for different components of conference. For example, friendships games, the activities committee is only a team of 6, but the friendship games, of course, is for all of our guests and all of our attendees, and they need definitely need a lot of support and help in facilitating some of these games, and the games are really fun. So look forward to that volunteer recruitment form, and especially if you're on staff and you are in a committee that maybe isn't doing anything during a certain session, definitely offer your support. And lastly, we have general hospitality and staff code of conduct. Vu will be talking about this really briefly.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, so we just wanted to go over a couple of, I guess, like few rules of conduct on how you can make yourself presentable in front of not only attendees but also our sponsors and you know, our guests and even each other. How you communicate with each staff. So just use common sense. It's common sense, really. So if you come across any like stressful situations, reach out to your directors, reach out to eBoard, and then we'll take the time out of whatever we're doing. We'll take care of each other. There's a hospitality suite too that I think hospitality committee has arranged for us that we can all go to that hospitality suite and just, take a load off and relax and take that bit of time just to refresh our brains so that we're not completely fried and worn out. So I guess Nick will talk more about that when I throw it back to him. Another thing is to keep in mind that this conference is a really big milestone for UNAVSA. So with that said, there are a lot of alumni coming back. A lot of, dignitaries are even coming to our opening ceremony and gala award presentations. So you have to keep in mind of keeping a very professional image with, on whatever you're doing, whether you're speaking to the workshop or guiding people to the rooms. Just keep in mind that you are representing the organization, and all your actions will reflect on not only UNAVSA but also partnering organizations as well. That includes UVSA SoCal. So just keep in mind, keep your composure, keep everything cool, and be transparent with your communication. If there is anything bothering you, reach out to any of the directors, reach out to hospitality, reach out to your EDs or EPC committee members, or reach out to eBoard, and we'll do everything. Because it can be a very stressful situation when dealing with over 500 people in a hotel setting. Let's see. And be courteous, be friendly. People traveled a long way just to attend this conference, so they want to feel right at home. They want to feel like they're a part of the family. So just reach out and extend your hospitality, and be yourself too, because they want to see the diversity within the organization. There's some people from the South and the Northeast, and there's even a person coming from Alaska. So just extend your hospitality and be yourself and be very open. Am I missing anything?
I think that's everything, unless Ani had something to contribute.
No, I think you have it. We just want to make sure everyone feels welcome and that they see the best we put our best foot forward for everyone to see all the hard work you guys poured into. So thank you.
Okay, so let's see. So that concludes the conference portion of this presentation. So Vu, would you like to facilitate the QA?
Okay, so if anybody has any questions, we're going to move the meeting to a Q&A mode. Basically, you can unmute yourselves whenever you have a question to ask.
Mute themselves by pressing *6.
Oh, well, there you go. You can press *6 on your phone, or you can highlight your name and hit unmute if you're on a computer. I would strongly suggest you to ask any questions you may have so far, because call is basically the only call that will be able to provide every single, any important information before you go to conference. This is basically where, when you come to conference, you can put whatever information you take out of this call and apply it to whatever you see at conference. So, yeah, go ahead, and if you have any questions, fire away. Or if you prefer us to call on you, you can use the My Mood feature and raise your hand. Are there any debriefs each night? That will be the ED's call. Actually, I think it's Ebor's call. Can you guys advise?
Yeah, we'll be doing, this is of course for conference staff, that we'll be having a debrief each night. We haven't scheduled them yet. I believe typically we don't do debrief Saturday night, so it would be Wednesday. Pre-conference we'll have a meeting, and then Thursday night we'll also have a meeting, and then after that would be after opening ceremonies, of course. And then Friday night we'll also have another meeting.
Yeah, so keep in mind whatever is on the schedule that you guys are expected to come to the debrief meetings past whatever is scheduled on the official program. Okay, let me see. I got to scroll up. Are there any other questions that anybody would like to ask? Okay. Pam asked, have pre-conference staff housing been decided? I have staff asking me about it since they want to go to SoCal early.
So if you have staff that are arriving early, then if they have filled in their itinerary form, then logistics will know, and then logistics will help coordinate. We don't have housing assignments yet. That's to be determined. We're currently arranging it. And if you don't fill out the form, then of course we won't know if you need housing or not. So please fill it out, and then logistics will contact you regarding your flight, as well as any potential housing that you might need.
Okay, are there any other questions as far as conference is concerned? Going once? Going twice? Okay, if there aren't any other questions or updates from eBoard or EPC, I can move it back to Ani.
Great. So it looks like Nick did such a wonderful job that if he has any other questions. So that's wonderful. I would like to call on our DAT, our EVP, to talk a little bit about how alumni are involved in our organization and how we should approach them at conferences, since this is such a big conference for the alumni to come back to. So, yeah, take it away.
Hello, can everyone hear me? Oh,
yeah.
Never mind. All right, hey everyone, how are y'all doing today? And as stated before, this is a 10-year UNAVSA conference, and it's really, really a big milestone. We have a large number of alumni that are attending this year. And because of their ongoing alumni support, UNAVSA has been really successful by getting them more involved after their conference and after being involved with staff. So it's really great really great to have them here this year. And for every challenge that you are facing, every success that you are completing, these alumni have been here prior to us, and they are laying a really great foundation. And once you will become an alumni yourself, so we really want to take the effort to welcome these alumni to our conference and showing them that we really do appreciate their ongoing support, and it's really means a lot for them to even be present this year with us, because of the past years their numbers have declined. But it's really good to see them this year. So just be mindful of welcoming them and meet and greet them, and really be friends with them. And be careful using the O word, okay? And that's all I have to say about alumni.
Great. Thanks, Dat. To reiterate what Dat said, alumni are sort of, they're the reasons why we're here, and now we're the reasons why the organization is still running. So together we need to work in order for us to achieve our vision and our mission. So thank you, Dat. And then I would like to ask TL to talk about our sponsors at this time.
So sponsors goes along with all of the things that Vu said about being hospitable and Dat said about alumni. A lot of our alumni come back and donate money. So I guess the big thing that we want to ask you guys during conference is just to be aware of our sponsors that will be there and give them that consideration, and if you can, thank them for helping us out here. They believe in UNAVSA and they believe in all of us pretty much, so we just want to show them that appreciation. A couple of people who have donated or, provided a sponsorship. A big one is State Farm, of course. Bank of America, UVSA SoCal, Ryan and Alex Hubris, and Hui Zung, if you guys have heard of him. He left a note with Ani to pass on to all of us. So I'm going to pass it back to her. We can hear what he said.
All right. So he's a longtime supporter, also the sponsor for our Visionary Scholarship. He sponsored CPP before. He sponsors conference every year. So I think a number of you might know him or might know of him. But he wanted to say thank you for everything that you've done. He knows that it's a lot of hard work, especially it's volunteer. He said that, as a sponsor, all we do is give money. But as a volunteer, you give your time and dedication. So he really appreciates that. And the volunteers, as you all, the staff, this is what makes the organization thrive and to keep going. So really appreciate all the support that you all are giving one another and giving to the organization and the time. So that is what we wanted to say. And as we're done with that, we actually, if there are any other additional questions, I think that there is some other questions that might have come up, and we are going to go to another question to end. Our call is actually coming to an end. It's been very efficient, so thank you, everyone, for hanging in there. But we're going to have a questions, and then we're going to have a closing statement from our executive director, our conference executive director, Nick Tang. So I'm going to pass it back on to Vu to facilitate the questions, the Q&A.
Okay, we have Tam Fan asking if there was a form sent out to acquire all the itinerary information, and for those of you who are driving, when you selected the option of, to say that you're driving, there isn't a field to input your arrival and departure time. Nick, can you advise on that?
logistics will contact each person individually to make sure we know when you're coming in and when you're coming out.
Okay. Pam, do you have any other questions regarding driving? No? Anybody else have, who do I contact to get my password for UNAVSA just reset? I can't input my info in through my personal email. Let's see.
That's the right group?
Yes, just contact me via the email through your personal email, and we'll get that squared away. Does anybody else have any other questions regarding either conference or anything UNAVSA related in general? Does anybody from eBoard or Executive Planning Committee have anything to add before we close on? No? Okay. Well, I'll move it on to Nick to close out the meeting.
Okay. Thanks, Boo. I wanted to share an email that I got from one of our alumni. It's very brief, so it won't take up that much time. But essentially, I contacted an individual. His name is Sivan. He's a pharmacist in Florida now. I learned through Anfu, one of our founders, that Sivan was actually one of our first executive directors for conference. Actually, he was the first conference executive director. And I actually had, in my 9 years of involvement with VSA, it's one name that has eluded me this entire time. I never knew that there's so many people that we're not connected with. There's so many people that in our alumni network that we haven't talked to in a long time. And so I wanted to share with you an email that he sent back to me after I corresponded with him. I dug up his email through Anfu. And he said in his email that, quote, "It is so rewarding to hear that UNAVSA is alive and strong. This fact alone is really the greatest gift for me. Like, I can't ask for anything else. It was worth every bit of effort, sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears. And thank you all for keeping UNAVSA alive and strong. I will be happy to be part of the 10-year celebration of UNAVSA, and seeing the younger generation carry on the torch will definitely be a thrill for me." And you know, when I read that, it just made me feel like, you know, everything that we're doing, every ounce of effort, every ounce of time that we spend on this event has greater impact than just these 500, you know, these attendees that come, but all the people that were there before us it too, right? And I believe that, and I believe that the work that goes into this organization and the time that we spend, right, it's not going to end here. It's not going to end after 10. We're going to go on to 20, 30, 40, 100 years, and no matter how long, you know, we'll go on, and how long, I don't know how long I have to be alive and be a part of this world, but I know that, you know, every time we hit that milestone, all these people, including myself, will be there, right, to support, to offer guidance, to love just as much then as we do now. So thank you everybody for being on this call and for being part of, you know, what we call, or what I like to call, Vietnamese, well, I guess Vietnamese American and Vietnamese Canadian history. We're part of making history. We're part of changing the legacy of everyone that we crossed paths with. So thank you again for being on this call, and I'll let Ani say any final words to finish off.
Thank you, Nick, for that. I think that was wonderful. And, you know, I have been involved in several different organizations locally, and also some national organizations I've spoken at, been invited to, and things like that. And every time I talk to them and learn a little bit more about their history and how they got started, I mean, I think that we're probably one of the most grassroots organizations. The way that we function with how well our volunteers work together throughout the continent without without the infrastructure that some of these other organizations have. It's really incredible how everything pulls together. And I really do believe, I think just recently OCA, one of the largest organizations with the most funding and paid staff, they said it takes years to move, to make something change, to make a move. We've been at it for almost 10 years now, and as Nick said, we're going to have many more years to go. Every single year that we're going to get closer to our vision, and every single year that we work towards it and work with our mission, we're going to grow our community stronger, build greater leaders, and I really do wholeheartedly believe that we are a force to be reckoned with. What we do instills pride in our community and in us being Vietnamese. So I just, want to depart with a message to thank you guys again for everything that you do, the time that you dedicated to this, and know that as you become alumni, just like the pharmacist in Florida or any of our other alumni, you probably will think back at this time, and hopefully that you will be proud of the work that you've done, and then also the work that the organization is going to be doing in the future. So thank you again. Really appreciate all the dedication and the work, and let's go make it a wonderful 10th year anniversary and celebrate when we see each other in the next 2.5 weeks. All right. Thank you again, guys, and we kept this meeting to 52 minutes, so thank you, everyone. Woohoo!
Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.